Arrgh. Ooh, welcome aboard, Medis. I really hope that my audio isn't fucky wucky, like a little bitchy witchy, because that's going to sucky wucky. Big fucking bitch. Yes, I am Trevor Bladier, the creator and designer for Doof, Gauze, and Guns. Yes, remember that very well. Very well, I did indeed remember those words. I am the maker of a thing that I have done. I have been dedicating my life to making this TTRPG, and this year, I am participating in Dragon Week. I mean, Fey Week. A celebration of the D&D and greater TTRPG community in which everyone comes together to create something magnificent. Every YouTuber and person is an open event and everyone participates. If you're in the TTRPG space, you know what I'm talking about. And today, well, I have been making my game, Guns. And I want to demonstrate those three Fae by, well, playing around with them and having them face off against the Intrepid. We have Carl the Ripper. We have. Actually, no, he's not really a Ripper. Anyway, we're gonna get to it. We have Octavia, depressed and traumatized. And we have Kitten. These three will be facing off against three my interpretations of different hags in. I should have deleted those off the realm. But I know why, because I forgot ADHD and things, so that's just gonna shimmy it off to the side. So anyway, I have three lovely ladies, three lovely hags that I will be meeting and fighting the party with. These are my interpretations of the Night Hag, the Annis Hag, and kind of my own thing. There is the thing called a Winter Hag, and this is called Winter Hag. But yeah, lore-wise, I don't make much because ADHD. I am a full-time animation student, so yeah, I have been not. This is a hobby and a side project. So yeah, and over here. So let's just talk a little bit about what my game. GGG, Goof Gauze and Guns, is a apocalyptic game. You play as a warlock, someone who's made a deal with a demon, an extraplanar entity, and it is your goal to not survive. I mean, to survive, not. It is this game has a focus on tactics and co-op. It is a game that is highly, highly custom. In fact, I think it might be too customizable. You have a lot of options. They aren't really necessarily classes in this game. They're more packed paths. Each packed path is like a collection of D&D feats. If you meet the requirements for each feat, you can pick it up. There isn't leveling up in this game. Instead, you get your more powers, your packed path powers, from I found myself incredibly. I was a lonely kid. Instead, you get your packed path powers from completing beats and arcs. Basically, the gameplay loop is you do a quest, you do downtime, you get a new power, and you go beat up more people. Downtime is actually really important in this game. For these characters, I have assumed that they have done a couple of downtime. So when you start in the game, you have two you choose 2 powers. I've given each of these characters 4 powers. I've also given them a little bit more of HP, and I've allowed them to craft some items. I will explore those and explain that whenever we get to it. Actually, you know what? It would be a good idea, at least one of the characters, and give you an overview. But yes, here is the toad. Should be finding out about what it is a little. The winter hag, the dream hag. Oh, that's up. We don't want to show it. Yes. Octavia the Transformed. Let's go with the funniest one. Carl the Llama. Again, we have our max HP here, we have AC. If you have played D&D, you know what those are. Your class resources. This is a. I'm gonna tell you this now. This game is a beta. The game is actively being worked on, and things will change, and things will be fucked up. That should not be called your class resources, but I'm gonna keep calling it for the sake of consistency. What you use your class resources for is you use them for your special powers. You have action points, AP, which you use to do your actions. Each combatant has every turn has 2 action points, and let you use stuff. Class resources let you do your special stuff, allows you to cast spells, do special attacks, and speed. You know what speed is. Phylum, that is basically what you're made up of. I know canonically llamas are actually undead insectoids, but like, oh, there's a spell mistake. As you can see, I am a professional. Yeah, every phylum, you get your phylums from your ancestry, and every phylum gives you different weaknesses and resistances. So undead gives you weakness to holy and resistance to dark, and insectoid gives you resistance to psi and weak to frost. The reason for the undead one is because that is what commonly is done in in your other RPG. And the reason for the insectoid, really, the side damage resistance is because of the anime Psyche, the disasters like Psyche K, in which the main character cannot read the minds of insects because their brains are too small. And the winter, all the bugs go to hibernate in the winter, so that's lost. We have our 7 stats. We do have proficiency. I don't know what I did there. So let's just go. We have the stat names, stats themselves, DCs, and your tallies. We can ignore tallies here. They pretend they don't exist, okay? For this example, they don't exist. Bulk is a measure of your strength and physicality. Agility is how dexterous and precise you are. Health is how healthy you are. I should really call that constitution, because we have HP, which is health points. I think that is, and it's just confusing, but I'm not going to change that for now. Brains is how smart you are. Willpower is how sane and willpower you are. Perception is, never guess what that is, viewer. And charisma is how is your strength of your personality. And then proficiency, I have kept this in because I want to, but I kind of might want to get rid of it. I don't know. It is, if you're good at something, you add your proficiency. Carl's thing is his base stat is +3, but because he has a hat which gives him a. We have never seen Carl move in any of the animations of llamas with hats, and so I gave him the lowest possible agility I could. When you're making a character, you can give a character a stat arrangement from -2 to +3. And then all 7 of your stats have to be equal to a +5 total. Well, If you want another way to explain it, you have 5 power-up points, and you use your power points, your pup, to buy different stats. And you have a maximum of 5. You can minus pup, you can, minus a stat, so example, -2 charisma, because psychopath, to get additional pup, and then you can spend your pup on other things. The reason why his pup should be equal to 6, if I did my maths right, is that he has an extra hat which gives him power. Yeah, to explain why Carl's stats are the way they are. Why is his brains? Oh, I know why his brains. Yeah. His health being +2 is because he eats flesh, and human flesh notoriously unnutritious and poisonous. His +2 to brains is because he is, well, he made a flesh monster, a flesh beast, and also the conveyor belt that smashes orphans. And I feel like you have to be a little bit smart to be able. His willpower is because, honestly, he should probably have lower willpower, but he keeps on doing the same bad, terrible fight everything. He might have less willpower, but anyway. Perception, he hasn't shown any perceivable, like, great noticing feats. I might give him less perception to notice that fact that Paul hates him. But I forgot about that. So, and I am too late to do this. And charisma, as I've explained. The DC here is for your abilities might inflict a DC, and so it will say, the enemy must make a bulk test versus your brains DC, and you can go and look here, and it is on your sheet. It should be on your sheet. The DC calculation is 8 plus your proficiency modifier plus your stat modifier. In older versions of the game, you could increase your proficiency modifier by doing stuff, by leveling up, but since there's no leveling up, it's now just a vestigial thing that I haven't figured out how to get rid of, or have put too much thought into getting rid of. So it is still here. But yeah, it might be removed in the next version. I don't know. I'm gonna find out. Proficiencies, those aren't important. Here, this is what he's equipped with. Hat of Power, that is thing that it gives him a +1 to a stat. He's too bulk because he's strong. Steel Armor is his armor, that's how Steen. And Purse Pack, the game has different backpacks, and those determine your inventory size. If you have a Purse Pack, you have 10 inventory slots and a +2 to speed. And then other backpacks do the and then this is his stuff that he has. Weapons. Oh yes. So he has a spider maw, and the reason why that is because one of the ancestry it is spider maw. That is how he is a spider person. Each character you choose 2 ancestry perks when you're making your character. He has also shown Bone Harvest, one of the glitter perks. Well, no, it's actually glitter organ compatibility, but it gives him access to Bone Harvest. And that is the whole ability. You harvest the blood, bone, and organs from a dead creature, and you put them into yourself. I imagine that Carl is just eating the dead person, and then you heal amount. It was originally 1d10, but it was like one of the best. I think it was hands down at the time the best ancestry perk at the time, but now it is, I think, a little bit more reasonable. And just heal yourself, basically. Yes, weapons. Instead of unlike in D&D, and I'm comparing this to D&D because I think D&D is a good reference point, but I don't want to say that either game is better. I personally think that my game is better, but that is because I have specifically made this game to be fun specifically for me. I have designed this game so that it is for me to play with my friends. That is what I want this game to be. It is custom building the game to suit my needs. And And D&D isn't custom built specifically for me. So I'm gonna of course think my game is better. Do I honestly think that GGG is better? GGG is great for combat. GGG has really fucking fun combat. That might be novelty. I'm gonna say that it's because I made it really well. It struggles with social aspect. And it struggles with utility. That is because I find it very difficult to make utility abilities. I think figuring out interesting and fun ways to murder other people is my forte, and I'm trying my best to make utility ability that everyone can enjoy and you can use outside. It is an area that I know the game struggles with. But yeah. So unlike in D&D, you don't just pick a weapon, you make your weapon. There is a whole ass table. I'm not going to show you the table. It is very cool, I think. But you can apply modified weapon mods to a weapon to make it. This does mean that this is just one weapon. Yes, I do have a size 14 text because I like my big text. But that does mean that, well, yeah, weapons are fucking massive. And it's even like, but yeah, yeah, sorry, I'm doing many ums and ahs. Basically, what is attached to this weapon is the parry stone, which allows Carl to use an IP, an interact point. It's basically a reaction in D. But the thing that I like about my reactions, and specifically my autism, every interrupt has a trigger, so you know precisely when it is happening, and then you always know it's a fit. Yeah, basically, this will allow Carl to parry an attack, which parries an attack. It's a parry. His main weapon is the Bastard Sword of Death. I have tried to get this weapon to be as to hit things as much as possible. So that should actually be plus. And his proficiency is 3. So smack attacks are single target attack. They're basically your normal D&D attack weapons. And every auto +1 means the weapon attacks for an additional time. So if you are bloodied, that means if Carl is at half HP, then his weapons get a +1 to hit. Sorry, not a +1 to hit. He can attack an additional time. What you can also do is overcharge. The attached weapon gains auto +1, and the whenever you make an attack, you suffer 1d4 chaos damage. For each overcharged weapon, each overcharged engine attached. That's going to be dealing quite a bit of damage when you up. But yeah, every smack weapon is assumed to have auto 1 because you make a number of attacks equal to your auto. That is just the way that I've logicked it. I might have to make it extra attack because, you have normal attack and extra attacks. That might be the better way to do it. I'm not entirely too sure. I actually think that might just do it. But yeah, then we have all of his abilities. So the reason why Carl attacks so much is because the first time we meet him in episode 1 of Kilometers of Had, he says, "I have stabbed a man 37." And so that does not sound like a man who attacks with a big hit. That sounds like a man who stabs times. Okay, to explain all of his abilities. This is where we get into the meat and the bones of the game. Combat in GGG is split into 2 phases. Fight phase, where you do your fighting and your killing, and the condition phase, where all of the conditions happen. I find it incredibly annoying and hard to keep. D&D, if you are poisoned, or a debuffed or hurt or something, it's either at the beginning of your turn, the beginning of the creature that inflicted you with its turn, or at the end, and it's all each effect is different, and it's all just like, okay, I don't remember for this one. Oh, for Merzgelberg's Kokarchis farts, it's at the beginning of the caster's effect, but for Merzelberg's binding ropes, it's you make the saving throw at the end of your turn, and then just like put it all in one phase. Put it all in one phase. And that is where the condition phase happens. Also at the condition phase, you get every player character gets 1d3 of their class resource. At the beginning of the condition phase, gain 3 dark hearts if you backstab another creature. Otherwise, if you get 1d3, but I forgot to put inners. But yeah, you roll the d3, and you get that many of your class. Each class resource is named a little different. Each pact path has their own unique name, but they're all the same. I think I might try to unify them, and just have them all under the same name. But in the current version, if it says dark hearts and blood points and pleasure points, those are all the same thing. They're all your class resource. And if you complete your little quest thing during the round, you get 3 instead of rolling d3. So for betrayal, because Carl betrayed the trust that Paul put into him, he gets 3 dark hearts. And he has a bunch of abilities. You can pause now and look at it if you want. That is this page, and this page, and then there is down here. But pretty much he has 2. He can jump around. He wants to jump. He wants to jump using blood infused jump. He wants to use murder spree to hit lots of times. And then he wants to use blood construct wall and blood art damage transference to block off enemies and to also transfer damage. Now with all that done, let's begin. You two. Yes. Our 3 adventurers hike the marshland. This place, the environment is. It's a conflict between swamp, mystic night, frozen toads, half dead and half not. As the 3 find their way into the hag. Open the door. First, opening the door. Carl. Because of course it's fucking. He's on me. What the fuck is going on there? Bitch! Why are you wrong? Why are you not working? What the fuck are you doing? Move the. Yes, I can now move the token. Jesus fucking Christ, you asshole. Why are you not working, Illustrator? Why are you not doing exactly what I wanted you? First entry. One thing that's important to the game is you can be backstabbed, so this little marker, that thing, indicates the front, which also indicates right behind it the back. Carl enters, followed Titten, and finally Octavio enters. Alright, and now we get the hag. There is the winter hag, toad hag, all 3 of them playing a little game of old maid. They see the 3 and fight. Alright, so initiative in my game does not work anything like it does. In fact, it doesn't exist like it does. I think initiative sucks. Um, I'm not gonna try and go on a rant about it, but each the there are two teams. There's GG team, which GGG the GG is what we call the GM in this game. I'm gonna refer to myself as GM, DM, and GG. They're all the same person. It's in this game. It's called a game guide. But yeah, and yeah, the attack. There's the players team, which is these three, and the GGG. The GG. That's too many G's, Shaw. That's too many G's. The GM's team, which is these people. The team which attacks first goes first. And then you elect a character who has not done their turn this round. A character do their turn. I'm actually gonna make stroke 10. I'm gonna cut it. Where was I? Yes, so you elect a character who has not done their turn this round, and that person does their turn. And then it swaps to the GG's team, to the other team, and you keep doing this until everyone has done their turn. There is a bunch of actions that you can do, and I hope you enjoy the Bloodslaughter. I don't know how this is going to turn. Oh, let me also damage. So I'm going to be counting up for damage. I think that's going to be. Actually, wait, let me. Um, they all have 100. Okay, I may have made this a little too difficult. They are each of the enemies have 100 HP, and our hero. Each of the enemies have 100 HP each, and our heroes have a total of 100 between all three of them. But the heroes go first. Again, each character also. Oh wait, I need to. Health. Okay. Okay. Where was I? I hopefully that don't fuck that up too bad. So each character has, as I said, 2 AP. So we have a Carl over here. I think he is going to want to use. He wants to use his. So going to use 1 AP to activate. We'll call it overcharge. I'll. That is now on for him. That costs him 1 AP. He's going to use 3. Oh, Blood Infused Sleep is 2. He's going to go down by 2. And he's going to leap 1d4 up to 4 meters. And go right here. He's going to rotate for 0 AP. And then he's going to make an attack. He's going to use the. What do you call it? I just named the Bastard Sword of Death. Yeah. So that is 2. 20 plus 5. A 16 and a 20. Comparing that to. That is. Who's HP? That is the Toad Hat. I only have 1 screen, so hopefully these aren't. The Toad Attack has 14 AC, so both of those hit. Alright. So when you backstab an enemy, you deal an additional damage. So, Carl's Bastard Sword of deals Bastard Sword of Death. Xavier, that's Kitten. Carl. Deals 1d8 plus his bulk, which is plus 4. He is not next to Kitten. Kitten has some bonuses, but he is within 4 meters. Anyway, so that is 1d8. So that each one is doing 2d8. That's 4d8. 4d8 plus 8 dark damage. That is 24, and he will suffer a d4 chaos damage, which is 4 chaos damage. Hold on, I need to be fucking. There we go. Okay, so Carl does 28 to the Toad Hag. He's going to take 4 chaos damage. That is 6. Let me double check the ruling that I've written. for the... So... the attached weapon gains +1 auto for each attached O-touch engine, and whenever you make an attack roll, you take 1d4 chaos damage onto your... Okay, that is a lot more brutal than I expected. So yeah, he's taken 5. And then the the hag is going to be on 36. It's dark damage. None of them are resistant. That is the Carl turn. Okay, so that she doesn't get fucking backstabbed again, she's going to... the toe tag is going to... and we're going to go and see what evil I can do with her. Toe tag, toe. Toad Hack Bone Spear. That's gonna hurt a lot. I think what she's going to do is she's going to summon a magical... the Toad Hag's magical toad is a summon. And she can command the toad. It has a range of 3 meters. So 1, 2, 3. If I was a GM, that's where she wants to place it, but I think she's going to place it there to be safe. The magical toad is a creature that will do stuff. But you can command it to make an attack. For the first time she activates this ability, she can use it for 0 AP, and then afterwards she has to... every other time he uses it during this round, it costs 1 AP. But she's just going to place it there because it has a toxic aura, which is going to force all of her enemies... actually, wait, no. She can command it to leap. She is going to summon it and then command it to leap over there. This is going to force both of them to waste their AP to just do random. And then finally, she's just going to stab using the toad's bone spear. It is a d20 plus 5. Ooh, Carl takes it. That is a d6 plus 2 stab damage, plus a 1d8 plus 2 poison damage. Ow! I really should have given them more HP because this is... that is 22 damage. Okay. That is the turn. And now we're going to go with Octavia. Octavia probably should have gone first. Octavia's build is very specific. As I am not playtested everything, I'm trying out an ability. This ability is called and what Loop does is it allows it the first action done during this creature's turn is repeated an additional time, for no additional cost. I should probably put an may in there. Probably should do that. Hey, editing me, go do that. And the point of that is, yeah, to let you have free stuff. Words. But the downside of Loop is not that it has a high cost. It actually has a pretty reasonable cost of 4 arcane eyes or sources. It's instead that you get Loop for only 1 round. And this is not good. However, I have there are several abilities which allow you to manipulate the number of rounds a buff or debuff lasts for. One of which is being manipulated fate. Swap the number of turns remaining on 2 different target creature buffs and or debuffs. This can only affect timer and dynamic buffs and debuffs. Every buff and debuff has a tag on it, and that tag determines what type of buff and debuff. Timer buffs and debuffs have a static effect, and they tick down one at a time. Any buff or debuff that says if you want a good example from D&D, pretty much all D&D buffs and debuffs are timer debuffs. Dynamic buffs and debuffs get more potent the more stacks of them that you have. We're going to see one of those examples later on. Later on being now, because we want to be using our main attack for Octavia, that being Magic Book, where I didn't bother to look the name up. So, it is a line attack. It's a laser attack. It makes a line, and all creatures in that line suffer damage. Octavia really should have gone first. Why didn't Octavia go? Would have gone. Okay, she has a movement of 6 meters. 1, 2, 3. We go here. Could you reasonably draw a line? That would then hit. That would then hit a Carl, and that is not good. So 1, 2, 5. That'd be stub. That would hit Carl. I think we're just going to shoot the line that way. So she needs to make a test roll. What is the test that it should be her willpower. Her willpower is DC 4. But what is the test that I don't think I remember putting it down. A health test. Okay. I'm gonna tell you a little secret. Oh, her health is +2. Okay, so she has 20 plus 2. 19. Ow. Octavia shoots her beam, and the toad hag is completely fine. She just eats the beam of darkness shot at her. Octavia is not in a good position, but this is up good enough time for the winter hag. 1, 2, I think 3, 5. So her attack is 5 meters away. That's the central. Honestly, actually, I have a better idea. We are going to just be fucking evil. have 1, 2, 3, 5. There we go. 1, 2. So that is everybody in a 5-meter long, 5-meter wide cone. It makes each of these creatures make a checker test. Winter hag. The hag? Um, One moment. Winter hag. There we go. Winter hag. The winter hags. This is called get in the bag. Let me read out what this ability is. That is Winter's Embrace. Get in the bag. The Winter Hag creates a 5-meter long, 5-meter wide cone in front. Each creature inside the cone must make a willpower test versus DC 15. On failure, each creature immediately takes the most direct path towards the Winter Hag and enters her bag. On success, each creature moves 1 meter towards the Winter Hag. If they end this movement within 1 meter of the hag, they enter the bag. Now, this specific ability is inspired by a Russian myth, a Russian fairy tale. I was listening to the Myths and Legend podcast to get inspiration for this video, and so we have this little thing. The Winter Hag bag. The Winter Hag's bag. The Winter's Bag's Hag. Yes, that is what they call it. The Winter Hag's bag is a magical bag. This bag is an item which can be stolen or disarmed. I need to remember that. If a creature enters the bag will begin to suffocate. Any creature inside of the bag will be confined to a 1 meter area if there are already other creatures in the area. At the beginning of the condition phase, each creature inside the bag will suffer 1d cold damage. In addition, each creature inside the bag will suffer 1d6 blunt damage for each other creature inside of the bag as the bodies begin to crush one another. Each creature may attempt to exit the bag by spending 1 AP and makes a bulk test versus DC 13 plus the number of other creatures in the bag. The bag the holder of the bag may spend 1 AP to release any creature from the bag. Once a creature leaves the bag, it cannot re-enter the bag for 1 round. Do you see what the plan is here? So, first up, we're going to have the Toad Hag. DC. The Toad Hag willpower is a +1. She enters the bag. The Toad Hag is inside of the bag. We're just going to put them off the side. Then we have a Carl. 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 With a willpower of +2. That's a D29 shot. He succeeds. Okay. But that doesn't matter. He enters in 1 meter of the bag, so he enters the bag. And then we have Octavia. Octavia. Octavia is a +4 to willpower because Octavia also has a special piece of equipment. 19. She just moves 1 meter towards the bag. Alright, I'm gonna throw that to the side, and she just moves 1 meter closer. Then, the Winter Hag is going to use her other ability, called Get Out of the Fucking Bag. Did you know, guess what this is? This shoots the instead of just letting it out nicely, she is going to use this like a fucking bazooka. Get out of the bag. The Winter Hag expels one target creature from the bag. Each creature in a 8-meter long, 1-meter wide column must make a DC 15 agility test. The expelled creature will also suffer collision damage. I forgot which creature. Oh yes, okay. On a failure, the creature is pushed. The failed creature is pushed until the end of the column and suffers collision damage. On success, the creature may choose to move up to 1 meter out of the way of the column. So, we are going to shove her. We are going to shoot this hag. This is probably going to do more damage to the hag than it does to Octavia, but I don't care. This is fucking funny. These are toxic hags. So that is, they're just going to go to the end. Actually, Octavia needs to roll her agility test. What is Octavia's agility? I don't think I gave her good agility. I gave Octavia very bad. She is rich and 17. She has a 0 in. That is a 3. Yeah, she is rich and has never actually I don't think she's done anything. So I think that's roughly. They're going to be shot. That is 1, 2, 3. They each of them is going to take 2d6. Every 2 meters that a creature is pushed, when it hits a wall, it suffers 1d6 blunt damage. 10 damage on each of them? That is on. Oh, wait, the Toad Hag. The Winter Hag is meant to be on 100. The Toad Hag. She will be on 66, and Octavia becomes blue. I'm gonna be honest. I think they're fucked. I did forget to mention the plot hook. And that is the fact that these 3 have been hired to figure out where my voice. I am losing my voice. The 3 of them have been tasked to figure out where their grandmothers, because apparently all 3 of these characters are related, special cookie recipe, and they need. Have any messages? Okay. So Kitten is going to do that. I'm gonna say this one is meant to be a chest. That is meant to be a chest. Kitten is going. If Kitten gets a DC 15 perception test, he's going to find it. Otherwise, he's going to have to fight. So he's going to. Kitten has an ability called Scary, which allows him to move a number of meters equal to his agility modifier. His agility modifier should be a +3. Yes, because he's invested all of his abilities into agility. It's similar to the Blood and Fierce Leap, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3. He's actually going to go here. And what is his perception? D22? 17. Oh, he finds it. Okay. Well, the words that I just said, he has the thing that he needs. So I guess he's just gonna say fall back to his fruit. He's just gonna try help make sure that no one dies. So I think he's gonna try throw a potion. But he can't throw a potion. Oh, but Carl is inside of the bag. Okay, that's not good. Carl needs to get out of the bag. Okay. How can he help Carl get out of the bag? Can he? No, he can't activate double door. He doesn't have any good option. I think he's just going to activate Iris's sprint. Actually, wait, no, he still has. He's used 1 AP. Still has. This is 1 AP. 1 AP left. So to explain what his abilities can do, he has orbital backslat, orbital backsling, which allows anytime he gets hit and the attack misses him, he can shoot an exact copy of that attack onto the enemy. Honestly, I might have to make that cheaper because it sounds. It's a pretty. It could be really good, but it could also be really bad. I don't know. I'm testing things. He has Iris's sprint, which allows him to give a ally a +1 to agility and additional speed. Double Dawn allows him to give another target ally an extra turn. That they happen immediately after this one. Unfortunately for him, it costs him 5 class resources. And as we can see, he only has 5. He only has 3. And commanding approach will make a target approach him. The dream hack is the only hack that hasn't. I think he just uses gun. I think gun. What is his gun? Spear pistol. That is a agility of +5, and he's going to shoot the winter hat. No, he should probably shoot the toad. I know he wants to get out of there. This has become a rescue mission. He wants to shoot the toad hat, so he's going to shoot the toad. So this is a rescue mission to get Carl out of there. He's going to shoot the winter hat. Honestly, he doesn't have any good options. But yeah, I think this is his best worst option. So that is damage. That is 18 to hit. I'm pretty sure. That is a 8 plus 3 damage. That is 8 damage and inflicts onto the winter hag. Open wounds 3. Open wounds is, as I was going to explain, as I said earlier, anytime this creature suffers damage, it suffers damage equal to its open wounds and reduces open wounds by 1. At the beginning of the condition phase, reduce open wounds by 1. It's basically meant to give the vibes that this is a creature is just bursting. That this creature was bleeding out. All right, condition phase. Kitten's arcane eye was activated when flashback. Carl uses blood leap. So his arcane eye is at the beginning of the condition phase. Gain 1d3 arcane eyes. me. In 1d3 class resources. If at least one other ally spent any number of their class resources while within 4 meters of you, gain 3 class resources instead. Kitten goes up to 6. The same is going to happen with Carl because he backstab. No, he's going to go up to 4. And then Octavia did not inflict any unique debuffs onto her enemies, so she rolls 1d3 and she gets 2. Okay. We are going, and then it's the dream hag. I forgot about the dream hag. Oopsie. You know what? The dream hag is just gonna laugh at them. I think that's just gonna be her turn because nah, fuck them, fuck the heroes, fuck them up. Let's have some fun and have these evil. This is meant to be a hag episode, and the hags are not doing anything. So, because these are all toxic, I think we. Oopsie. Okay, she will be nice. One, two. She's gonna try block off Octavia's route for escape. Anna's going to activate. Need this to get them. There we go. Activate. Sleepaway. The dream hag creates a 5 meter long, 5 meter wide cone. Each creature inside of the cone must make a willpower test versus DC 15. On failure, the creature gains the drowsy debuff for 2 turns. On success, the creature gains the drowsy debuff for 4 turns. Drowsy. The creature speed is reduced by 2. It's a hammer debuff. The creature's speed is reduced by 2 meters. At the beginning of the condition phase, reduce the drowsy by 1. When drowsy reaches 0, the creature gains the magical sleep debuff for 10 rounds. If this creature suffers damage, increase the number of stacks of drowsy by 1. If this ability is removed, all stacks of drowsy. If this is removed by another effect, then it doesn't make you grow. Magical sleep. The infected creature is asleep. They will not wake up even if they suffer damage, and the debuff cannot be removed by Pact Path abilities. So, Mr. Kitten, what is your willpower? -1. Why did I give him -1? Oh, because he has depression in the one episode. You know the episode. 13. Oh, sucks to be you, Kitten. Drowsy 2, but then that goes, the condition phase actually happens because I forgot about that. Happens to be Drowsy 1. Okay, and then we can move it back onto the side. Thank you. Okay, we're going to have Carl go first. Carl is going to attempt to escape. Massive bulk. Evan. Carl is going to attempt to escape. Again. His bulk. 23. He's able to escape. He is going to then use blood-infused leap. That means that he can go 4 meters. 1. That is close enough, and he can get. I think he's just gonna jump over. The goal is for everyone to get the fuck out of here alive. That is another 2. He cannot backstab jump anywhere. Octavia is not gonna go because Octavia. Actually, wait, no, we should have. No, but Carl can't get in. Carl's selfish. Carl would go first. The Toad Hag is fucking pissed that she got put into the bag and is gonna go take her turn. The Toad Hag also has a jump ability. Usually characters aren't this mobile, but yeah, I think it's honestly this is actually really fun and good for. She's just gonna jump to the Toad Hag, to the Winter Hag, and is going to go. I have a big stick, and I am going to hit you with a Toad Spear. And where is? Aha. Yeah, she's going to use it twice, so that is 2 hashtag D20 plus 5. A 19 and a 3. 8 is going to miss, but the 19. 6 poison damage. What? No, that did not work out. Okay, 1d8. 2 plus 7. And that is the Winter Hag suffering to 85. Okay, Octavio is gonna go. Oh yeah, and open wounds should have. I think she's just gonna use both her movement to get the fuck. 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 12. She's just gonna book out the door. The Winter Hag, getting into a fight, is going to attempt to fight back. Honestly, get in the bag. Get in the fucking bag. And that is both of them need to get in the bag. Because I like this ability. This is my favorite ability that I. Be my favorite. Get in the fucking bag, bitch. They both need to make a DC 15 willpower. So the Toad is. Okay. The Dream Hag is the one that I have up here. That D20 plus 4. The Dream Hag succeeds. The 1 meter closer would be, but you can't have 2 creatures in the same space. She's just gonna be shoved in, but not be able to do anything. Oh, but she will go into the bag anyway. Actually, I think it doesn't matter because she'll end up going to the bag. She's 1 meter anyway, so she's into the bag. And then she's into the bag. And they're both into the bag. And now she's going to turn around. And both of her enemies. She should have just turned. I'm just realizing now she should have probably put Kitten and Carl and the Toad into the bag. Oh well. Time for them to go into the bag too. Oh, what the fuck did I do? Okay. Because get into the bag. I did not write down a cost for that. Is gonna cost 1 AP. And it's a DC 15. So Carl can't enter into the bag, but Carl can still be pulled into it. Kitten has a willpower of +1, so D20. The Chad succeeds, but it's pulled within. Okay, the 1 meter, and that is pulling everybody in. That might be slightly busted. The toad has a +1 to everything, and also comes in. The toad is now going to start poisoning all these 3. They're all within 1 meter, and Carl is... I don't think he has any will. Got a minus... Willpower of +2. D20 plus... Okay, he fails. He will enter... He will go right there. But it's fine, because he cannot enter the bag this round. Okay. Kitten. Kitten needs to get the fuck out of... And... Kitten doesn't have any AO. He's just gonna try... Get out. Unfortunately... For Kitten... Oh no. He has a -1. And there's 3 other creatures, so this is a DC of 16. Kitten, please be the goat. Kitten is not the goat, though. Oh no. Kitten is not doing good right here. Maybe Octavia should have just hung back. She really should have hung back, but I think saving her own skin. Also, wait, Kitten is the one with the thing. Kitten is the one with the recipe. Okay. Deus es Escotavius. I think she's just gonna wait there. Okay. I'm going to have Kitten get a stack of exhaust. He needs to get out of the bag. Because he also has drowsy. Yeah, he's... So, player characters can suffer a stack of exhaust to get an extra action point. Each stack of exhaust that you have -1 to all of your to all of your rolls. Please, Kitten. No. He's gonna fucking die. He's gonna fucking die. He still has 40 HP. He'll be fine. I think he's just gonna have to try to get out. I'm gonna be honest. I think it will make sense for his character to be able to reach back to. But yeah, has that even everyone? Carl got out the bag. Octavia ran away. Kitten uses turns. These 2, she hasn't done anything. Yeah, she's gonna try to get out the bag. She doesn't want to be in this fucking bag. Octavia. She has a DC as a, okay. Well, she's not doing it. Nope. Nope. Ow. Okay, the toad is gonna stay there. The toad hag stabbed her. Yeah. So they all suffer a D6 cold damage. Ow. That's gonna hurt. So the dream hag takes 94. 94. Toad hag is on 60. The magic toad, I forgot. It's on 19. I haven't fully figured out how the ruling of if 2 conditions happen at the... I think the player will stack them. Kitten's gonna suffer damage. before he enters Drowsy. I'm just going to say that to be nice. Fucking shit, this was a hopeless fight. And then there is the suffocation. It is 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, each one is taking an additional d6. Each one. Yeah, that's 4d6. That's 3d6, Char. 9 damage. Okay. The Dream Hag goes to 85. Toad Hag. And I forgot to remove Kitten, so he's taken a total of 15. He goes 25. And then the Magic Toad. Every creature within 1 meter of the Magic Toad gains the Toxic 4 condition. So we are going to be punishing Kitten even more. Because at the beginning of the condition phase, you take damage equal to your Toxic. The Toad Hag is immune to poison, so fuck. Who was this open wounds given to? I forgot. I think it was the... No, it was the Toad Hag. She has Toxic 4, but doesn't care. And the Dream Hag also has. We just know that Carl has the Overcharge engine. This is confusing because I'm running 6 different characters at the same time. Dream Hag also has Toxic. Okay, they each take 4 damage, and that reduces down to... And that means that Drowsy would increase to 3. $21 damage. Dream Hag is on. And the Toad Hag is immune to poison. Okay. Each of the players get... No one did any of their things, so each of them get a d3. Get 2. The question is, can a creature inside of the bag see outside of the bag? I have not considered this. I'm gonna say yes. Also, it lets Kitten use Double Dawn on a Carl to try to get Kitten out of the fucking bag. So, let's try using Double Dawn. Let me read out what this ability. Actually, first Kitten is going to attempt to exit the bag. No, he's gonna try and give Double Dawn first. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because after it's off. Let me read out what Double Dawn does. Commanding approach Double Dawn. Target another ally. Once your turn is completed, they gain a turn, even if they have already gone this round. Only used once per round. I do need to add in, it does not use their turn for this round. But yeah. So he's going to use that on Carl, and that is 5 pleasure points, 5 class uses. And he's then going to try and get out. Exhaust 1, which sucks. And he fails. Okay. Carl's turn. Carl's going to try and get him out of the bag. That is not how you write that down, Charles. This fucking bag is going to kill everyone. I think this one thing has done the most damage to anything and everything. Okay, nat 20. Let's go. So, when you get a nat 20 on a test roll, you get to clear an ally of a buff or debuff within 6 meters. So Carl's going to be nice and is going to clear. I think Carl then grapples. Yeah, he grapples Kitten and blood leaps 1, 2, 4 out of there. Well, Octavia has already gone, and Octavia hasn't had a turn, so she canonically is out. So yeah, they're going to get the fuck out of there. Carl is going to use an extra turn. Carl is going to get a stack of exhaust. He has the overcharge engine. So he's going to take his allies' exhaust, give it to himself, because he wants to get the fuck out of there. And Kitten is also the one with the quest item. And then Carl goes down by 2. Okay, Blood Infused Leap has been the MVP ability of this entire. He's gonna get out there. He can't use that again, but he just needs to survive one fucking turn so that he can run out there next. And I think the Dream Hag or the Toad Hag are going to take their turn, or the Winter Hag does, because they want to get out of the fucking bag. So let's do the Toad Hag. She gets out. Oh, whoopsie. She's gonna plonk out and is gonna stab the Winter Hag. Yeah, that is a D8. A D8 plus 2 plus a D6. A D6 plus 2. 18? 15 damage onto the Winter Hag. She goes down to a nice round 70. And then Carl drags Kitten out. And all 3 of them manage to escape, alive with the quest item. That was a brutal fight. How much HP? I don't know how much HP. I think the Winter Hag did more damage. The Hag did more damage to each other than they did to anyone else, to the enemy. Octavia was there. Carl was the MVP. It was Bullet Infused Leap. That was the MVP. Yeah. Well, thanks for watching. This has been my Hag video for this year's week. I might not edit this. I'm gonna see because I am very late.